The 2020 Population and Housing Census was officially launched today by the Statistical Institute of Belize. It kicks off a series of activities leading up to the countrywide collection of information for the May 12, 2020 census that will provide long-lasting and fundamental data which will be used to inform policy decisions. According to Chair of the Board of Directors of the SIB, Dr. Aaron Lewis, the census is ultimately about people and will find out their location, age distribution, the vulnerable population, status of their living condition, unemployment, and if they have food. Dr. Lewis says it is the only data collection activity which gives a true and complete picture of a population.
All dwellings will now be assigned geographic locations to assist enumerators in the field and, more importantly, to allow the linkage of statistics with geography, thus providing information at a detailed level never before possible. Paper questionnaires will no longer be used in the field, and teams of SIB personnel will collect information across the country using tablets. These tablets do not merely replace paper, but represents a redesign in the entire fieldwork and quality control apparatus of the census exercise. All computer applications for the control of quality and the integration of payroll and human resources into a coherent system were all designed and built at the Statistical Institute of Belize.
Since 1960, censuses have been done every decade. The last one was in 2020, which showed the population was at approximately 322,500 persons. 53% were Mestizo and 26% Creole. The data also reflected that 1 in every 5 persons was 14 years and older. The projection is that the size of the population would have grown by almost 100,000 persons come 2020. That is at a growth rate of 2.5% per annum, including migration. So to collect all that data, an estimated 1,000 field staff will execute the daunting task between May and July of 2020, after which a post-enumeration survey will be done to properly validate the results of the census immediately following the field work. A final report will be released in the year 2022.
We're also looking at a new topic this year for Census 2020, which will be democratic participation. And we're looking at, in that particular topic, we're focusing on the number of persons that are registered and the electoral division in which they are registered. So that's one of the new topics that we'll be focusing on. But we still will be looking at other topics too, like housing and housing amenities, and water and sanitation, and topics that we've covered in previous census, which is important because we have to measure the progress that we've come from 2010 to 2020. We're really asking for people to participate because, as you could see, the information that we collect is really important, and we also want people to know that the information that they give us is very confidential, so it will not be disclosed to anybody.
There are various uses for the census data, primarily for policy, planning, and administrative purposes. But it is also used for research as well as business, industry and labor, electoral boundary demarcation, and assessment of housing stock. International partners, the United Nations Population Fund and the Inter-American Development Bank, have been assisting in strengthening the capacity of the SIB.
This information is needed not only to describe the national picture, but to help understand the lives of all Belizeans. This includes those who live in urban areas, as well as those living in small towns and villages in rural Belize. The information the census provides is indispensable for government. No new infrastructure project in Belize today should get past the planning stage without reference to census data. be that a new bus route or a new primary school. Census provides invaluable information on the changing nature of Belize's ethnic makeup, on religious affiliation, on the number of school-age children, and information on literacy. It tells us what languages are spoken in Belizean homes, school enrollment, type of dwelling units, and the extent of household internet access, to name a few.
Without this accurate data, policymakers do not know where to invest in schools, hospitals, and roads, and those most in need remain invisible. The unique advantage of the census is that it represents the entire statistical universe, so to speak. Down to the smallest geographical unit of a country or region, planners need this information for all kinds of development work, including assessing demographic trends, analyzing socioeconomic conditions, designing evidence-based poverty reduction strategies, monitoring and evaluation.
During the process, all households will be assigned geographic locations to assist enumerators, and all data will be collected digitally. Duane, Moody for News 5.